Hello, welcome to Moonlit Fly Fishing, fly tying night tonight. I'm Brandon Moon, and tonight we're going to be tying up a Green Drake wire body Green Wells North Country Spider. This is just kind of a modern twist on a North Country Spider and the classic Green Wells tied in an olive color for a Green Drake. So we're very excited for this. Please let us know what your favorite color of wire to use in your patterns and drop that in the comment section. Like the video and we'll see you next time. The hook that we're going to be using today is the Moonlit Premium TOGATTA ML102. I'm tying it in a size 12. We do this in an 8 through 12, even 14 sometimes. I'm going to start it right behind the eye of the hook and then my thread and move it roughly about a quarter of the way. I'm using Semperfli's Classic Wax 8/0 thread in Pale Olive. Once I've snipped that tag end of thread off, I'm going to take a 0.2 millimeter piece of tying wire from Semperfli in the Bright Damsel Green. I'm going to tie that in at the front as you see here, a little bit different. Half hitch that after I've secured it down. Now I'm just going to take and manually do a couple wraps so that I can get a nice good start to my wire body. Take and pinch it in, make sure that I get those wires touching with touching wraps here. I can use this rotary feature with this Nirvana V2 vise. It's got a 0-axis rotary. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. Each wrap, you can see I start pulling that wire up into the previous wrap. And that just a little bit of tension helps that. So we're just going to get a nice smooth wrap with this rotary feature here. We're going to wrap it just back to about where the barb would be on this, so just before the bend of the hook, so it's going to be a little short of the bend. And once I get to that point, I'm going to actually wrap this forward and create a rib-like look. And the reason I'm wrapping and tying my wire from the front back and then back up to the front is it gives me a more symmetrical body. So we'll wrap that up to that start point. Secure it over the top twice, in front, over the top, and then in front again. Now we're just going to take a helicopter to cut this wire off here. I prefer to helicopter versus scissors, so I don't dull my scissors. Once we've got that done, we're going to take some Pale Olive Moonlit Fly Fishing Pine Squirrel dubbing. We don't need a whole lot, but we're just going to put a little bit on here to create a nice buggy thorax. This thorax acts as a thorax, but it also helps splay out your feathers when you wrap your soft hackle here in a minute. What I don't want to do is I don't want to put too much on, and I don't want to overcrowd towards the eye of my hook here. So I'm just going to wrap this over the top of that point where my wire starts in there, so it kind of covers just a little bit of the wire and a little bit of the thread. Again, making sure I don't go too far forward crowding my eye, because I want to be able to have room to wrap my hackle. I'll just pick out any short fibers there that are coming out. Here you see the olive dyed, badger dyed olive India hen neck. And I pre-preened this feather here before so that all the fluff was gone. Now I've created my tie-in point, and I like this badger, which is what is traditionally used on a Green Wells. This is just a dyed olive color. So I'll go over the top and then in front to lock it in place. Trim that out. That also helps push that stem out just a little bit. So once I've got that secured, I'm going to put my thread over on my bobbin rest. So now you're going to take your hackle pliers and you're going to wrap and palmer and preen these fibers rearward with every wrap. You can see that I'm I'm using my hands to help do that, but also using, as I pull those fibers rearward, I'm using the Hackle stem. There it falls out, but I just, where I'm helping to palmer that with my fingers, I'm able to capture it and continue on with my fly. We'll just keep preening those fibers, palmering them rearward. I like to get a little more hackle on mine than most people. These India hens aren't like super full, so you still get that nice wispy look with a few extra wraps. So I'm going to go over the top a couple times, and then I'm going to set my bobbin back, or my hackle pliers back, pull all the fibers back so I can clean that up as I create my head. Take my whip finish tool and we'll do a couple turn whip. Normally I like to do 3 turn whip. I try and get the fibers so that they're all back and I'm not getting them in the way there, but they're easy to clean up afterwards. So I'll take my snip tool on the end and trim that out, and then take my fingers and trim those 2 fibers out. Use a razor blade to get a clean cut on my hackle stem. To finish this, I'm just going to take some Solares bone dry, and I'm just going to get rid of the excess on that tip. Now I'm just going to pull my fibers back and put a little bit of UV resin on there. This is going to help make my knot more durable and just give it a nice little shine. Now we're going to take and cure that with our UV pin. This is the Moonlit UV pin, quick adjust, quick dry. And there you have the Green Drake wire body North Country Spider. Thank you for watching.